Just get like a grapple shot. Oh god.
A few moments later.
Why is this game so good?
It is very good.
How did they do it? How did they do it? It's beautiful. It's more art than spreadsheet. That's the thing.
Let's tap here. Go play.
Can't have it all. No, you didn't. You're playing that card, Zach. I hate this. What? Are you seriously playing that card? I went through all of the sites in Arthurian Legends and I said, oh my god, there's a singular site in this game that shuts off this entire deck somehow.
That's what I was gonna play it earlier, but
why does this exist? Who has fun here? Hello everybody and welcome back to another epic day of Sorcery TCG in the live stream. I'm not saying that Bauer should not have been printed.
immediately right into it.
But here's what I say.
Yeah, what are you saying?
Maybe I am saying that. Actually, I'm saying that exactly.
At some point last year, you were on the I have to just say radical things.
Yeah.
And now we're back.
I'm getting it for the clicks.
Yeah, ban it.
I mean, it just, doesn't it fall outside of, I was talking about this in the Discord, it falls outside of the template of everything else site-wise, where it's like, I guess you have the all things lose stealth. That's actually kind of a bummer too. But it's like, for the turn or nearby even. Okay, nearby mortals. I'll take it, Zach.
It's just a universal everything.
Or if you don't pay one at the start of your turn, all your mortals are beasts. Something. Can we, is there any way? But no, the mortal decks just have to eat it. Now tell me about that. What do you think about it? I haven't asked your opinion about anything.
About Bauer?
Yeah. That's got to be on the Dirty Seven podcast that we did, right? Then again, everything that Sorcery does is on there.
Can we do a new podcast series called The Dirty Seven? I'm not kidding. That'd be awesome.
The Dirty Bakers.
Yeah, I mean, we had what was the name of that? The Seven Deadly Sins? No, that's where it started. What was it called?
Power 5. Power
How to
9,
Ruin a Game. How to Ruin a Game.
How to
Ruin a Game was the podcast series.
That's right.
And Sorcery commits all the crimes.
Every one of them.
But that's why it works.
Yeah,
committing all the crimes.
Still working on
honestly, outside of reveling in how funny it was that it happened, I haven't thought one time about Bauer or what I would do with it. But here's my feeling.
I'll put it into perspective for you.
You have thought about nothing else.
I thought about nothing else. Yes, for a week.
Is that the perspective?
The perspective is Zach. You get finally. Here's what you get. I know what you like. I know kind of player that Zach is. You get the dragon set comes out, right? And it allows you to play a dragon avatar with nothing but dragons in your deck. All dragon deck. Oh my gosh. But then I also have a site that says all your dragons are blank, and they're a different type now. And they do nothing basically.
This is like a.
Can you imagine how that would feel?
You said perspective, but. That's really a method. That's a Socratic method. I was with you until the very end when I realized that it would make me uncomfortable and upset. No, I think it is interesting to me that in a set called Arthurian Legends, where you have all these unique mortals, that you would also have that card exist. I think it's interesting that you would have that card exist at all. So this is either a great or a terrible decision to do. And I have oscillated back and forth, but it kind of goes to the root of, they made the switch right before Arthurian Legends came out. There's a lot of drama about this, but originally when there's just one set, your main deck's 40 and your location deck, Atlas deck, is 20. And then they're like, we're going to move to 50-30 actually. And in fact, at some point in the future, we're going to go 60-40. And so one of the, again, it's how to ruin a game. One of the elements, though, that is the rules that are being broken here and the jazz is being played with Sorcery is that is the kind of card that no game I've ever played before Sorcery would actually intentionally print. And I don't think it was a mistake that they print it. So even looking at my deck from last week, and I'm making some changes, of course, I had no mortals in my deck. And after that, the one thing I did do, in looking at updating my deck was now I'm very aware of when the mortal keyword's showing up. So I think it's particularly egregious in a situation where you're playing only Arthurian Legends.
Yeah.
Because you have to play mortals. I do like if you suspect you're going to print mortals over time that are really crazy. Just the threat that this thing could be out there. And if you're so one-dimensional as a deck that one trait being blanked, I won't be surprised if we see the same thing, like dragons, etc., where you can play just the dragon deck. And it reminds me, it's a weird story to share, but back in the early days of 1.0, our local store, we had a bustling Game of Thrones LCG community. And I remember for a while, Ben Comstock was coming in with that Maester deck. And if there had been a plot that was like, discard, blank the Maester thing, would that have been, eventually all those cards got banned anyway.
Yeah, and there was the milk of the pod that made the chains fall off. But then they just stopped playing the chain links at all.
Yeah, but like if you could remove their alt-win condition, or what, anyway, the reason I say all that is...
But is that good? Are you saying that's healthy? Because that seems like the worst possible way to solve that problem.
Well, again, there's a weird...
We had a series called How to Run a Game.
Yeah. But I think if your deck... Let's say we have 5 sets of cards, and you have 20, 30, 60 card decks of 40, 45 units, minions in your deck. If 40 out of 45 of those are mortals, unless they ban Bower, which ban what from what? The kitchen
We're about
table.
to ban it right here. It's getting banned.
It forces you, one, I will have, at that point, I'll have a deck of 40 locations that I'll see 10 of, 12 of. So inconsistency is not a balancing mechanic. We've talked about that's the one of rule, which you shouldn't, the whole game is based on unique, so they're all one of. So
yeah,
Godspeed. But for starters, it's obviously not going to show. You can't reliably do that. But secondarily, it does penalize you for being all mortals.
Yeah,
to like an extreme degree, more than we've probably seen anyone get penalized for anything so far. So it is strange to me that it is not limited in any way.
Yes,
like if it said nearby as a bit, I can still put it in the middle.
Let's go.
But at least
I can blank it.
You can play your locations wide.
Yeah.
You can go around. You can play like Rift Valley and you can move locations and play with it that way. But it is just ever present,
especially with an avatar that is literally saying, "Hey, essentially the first mortal you play is -1." The whole point of this avatar is playing mortals.
Yeah, it's curious. It's a curiosity. I wonder
if they thought that mortals were too good. Like they were worried that maybe knights are over tuned, and so then again, a weird way to solve the problem is like we can just bomb it.
Yeah.
But again, this does feel the most like Lord of the Rings TCG or the Star Wars TCG kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
Where suddenly your opponent plays a card and you're like, oh my gosh.
I
the
literally
game is over.
cannot win. Yeah.
So they have recreated that magic. I've been thinking about it for a week.
It does feel like the 90s.
I've talked about it a bunch. We've been able to have a lot of great banter around it. So maybe it's the right thing in the end.
How do you feel about it in retrospect?
I mean, as a systems designer, which I am not, it's the worst decision imaginable. That you would take an entire
feed me.
an entire trait that is arguably right now with these two sets the most fun to build around, with an avatar that is designed to build around it, with knights and sirs and dames that are supposed to be on the table that are defined exclusively by their card text. That you would just basically have a 1 out of, let's say, 8 games, 5 games, when an opponent is running a site, your deck just stops working. I don't think that's a good thing in terms of your opponent was not more skilled than you, and your opponent wasn't even more lucky than you. They just always have an X% chance that the game is over when they're playing you. That's usually not a great thing in card games to inspire. But at the same, as a systems designer, that's what I'm saying. But as somebody who can zoom out from the TCG game at hand and think about how fun it is for me to complain about this, and for us to now have to figure out, are we going to ban the card at the table or not? Or for me to say like, well, I mean, if you're going to play it, I'm not going to play you. So what about that?
That's an option.
Then we don't have a stream.
It's a short stream.
So now I have a negotiation power.
Well,
it's like a hostage.
You love the kids on the playground that are, I'm just going to take my ball and go home.
That is what I'm going to do, though. if you don't play, if you play that card.
But in all seriousness, that's exactly what I'm gonna do.
But yeah, if you play that card again, Zach, it won't even be funny anymore.
Yeah, it was.
I'm gonna go right through that window.
I'm gonna be honest. I made the deck I played
man.
last week to take to Sorcery Con back in November, and I hadn't actually gotten to play the deck, and so you saw the footage if you were here at the start of the stream, where I draw in my opening hand. And I'm just like I'm like chuckling.
I know. I was like, hey, grapple shot.
I forgot it was there. I was loosely aware that it existed, and then I drew. Turn hand one. I draw it, which is. You saw my reaction. That's how crazy that card is.
Here's what I was very aware that it existed because it was played during our 4-player multiplayer game at Sorcery Con 2.
And someone bamboozled you.
And it literally, everybody's cards just got terrible except for my pirate ships, which lost Waterbound. So they were now 4 or 5 beasts without Waterbound, and they got really good.
Yeah.
So I was like, I remember that card.
That's a cool image.
Yeah. My pirate ship turned into like a giant turtle and could now get out of the water.
That checks out.
Which is very cool.
Speaking of pirate ships, I did an interview yesterday with Cardboard Guide. The reason I mentioned pirate ships, they asked me a really cool question. I'm curious to know, everyone out there, what you would answer this. They said, if I could pick a theme for a future sorcery set, what theme would I pick? My answer was pirates, actually.
I think that's right.
Yeah, it's odd because I'm such a water... But, pirates are kind of the people that tame the water, so to speak. But yeah,
There's cannons. I mean, fire is in a cannon.
That's right.
That's worth something.
I mean, fire is really bad for ships on water.
I'm sure that there's a card you can play that says do 4 damage to whatever you want on the table.
But, yeah, I'd love it. Anyways, I'm curious what... It was the thing that was interesting about the question... I was thinking about this last night after I did the interview for a long time. It's like, I actually don't, because sorcery doesn't have necessarily a story or an ongoing theme or an IP. Normally, you kind of have a natural progression of things that you could do. But I was just like, man, what are my options even actually? And it's like we're kind of getting seemingly the like heaven hell vibe, angelic, spiritual.
Is that what they're calling it? Gothic, right? That's what.
Yeah, we saw the piece of art that made it feel like it was what's that famous painting? Dante?
Dante's Inferno? I mean, that's a book. I'm sure it's been painted
I think there's
times.
a famous painting. It's like almost it reminds me of the painting I've seen, but from a different perspective. Anyways,
I don't know if I've even seen this art that you're talking about.
They spoiled it at the end of Sorcery Con in November.
I wasn't there. I mean, not at the end.
You weren't at the prepresentation.
I wasn't there for the presentation.
Anywho, but I was thinking through themes. It's like, well, there's pirates. They're already doing the dragon set. See, maybe I would take a dragon set. And it's like, not for me, but there's a horror theme that I'm sure some people would be like, all the monsters, and we already have vampires floating around, and like you got Cthulhu stuff.
I could see that.
But then it was sort of just like, I just drawn a blank.
They're out of ideas.
Yeah, it's
There's
over.
nothing left.
It's like, but there are other. Just like, what are the theme choices? One that came to my head that doesn't make any sense for sorcery, maybe it does, is like Western. And I was like, ooh, and like,
no,
I was like, I don't know how. Anyways,
sorcery universes beyond.
I was literally like at a loss of options. It's like, I don't even know what I'm picking. People saying pirates, samurais, and ninjas.
Yeah, samurais and ninjas. I think you could also do like a woodland set, which would be tight, right? So expand on the fairies, get the elves involved. You could do a plains or a more like samurai kind of L5R
I like
style
the woodland vibe
set. What else is there? Let's think of what other deep fantasy things
Deep
are
sea.
there.
There's also just like non-Western fantasy, which I don't know a ton about clearly, but that would be cool.
And you know what's cool about Arthurian Legends that I'm really loving is that, I see Sir Pellinor right here. If I am playing like 2 Gothic decks against each other, and there's like demons and stuff, and then Sir Pellinor shows up, it actually fits. Like somehow it's seamless. It works.
Yeah, I do feel like the Arthurian choice is notable in that it does fit. Somehow it fits.
Oh, you could do like a Beowulf.
Okay, now we're talking.
Norse. You gotta get the Norse set, right?
You could do.
They seem.
I mean, how old is okay, right? Like all the ancient, the Greek, and the Roman.
Greeks, yeah.
Because like that whole.
there's a lot of kind of Greek adjacent. I mean, it's from this Western
Greek adjacent
fantasy, isn't it?
I don't know. Anyways, I just realized there's a reason I'm not doing that job because I was out of ideas quickly.
I'm so ignorant to other cultures like fantasy. You know,
it would make sense that
I guess. I mean, not steeped in like.
You'd have to really be trying.
But I'll bet there's some incredible stuff out there, like some African-based fantasy. China, I'm sure has. I did a little bit of study just from the Taoist Eastern Phil education, but like what are the old story, like the old fantasy tales and the fairy tale kind of stuff from those places, South American.
There's the whole like grim fairy tale thing too.
Yes,
that could really, you could go a lot of directions with it. But
yeah, you could have a set that's just giants. I mean, here's the thing: you could
I do love me some giants.
Just giants, man.
Yeah.
Also, I do want to address this. I heard this in the Discord, and our lovely friend and fellow employee Evan, is
hipping with it.
Well. Yes, I guess. I mean, I actually don't think that he is really.
I agree. Yeah, he would agree.
But like everybody, the immediate reaction to Bauer is it's like whenever you're looking for empathy and then the other person's trying to solve the problem. It's like
you just described my relationship with my wife.
I know, yeah, of course. You could just it's every relationship.
Yeah.
Castles Ablaze. You just put the 2 Castles Ablaze in there, and then what happens is they play the site, they turn off all of your stuff for their turn, and then they turn off all of your stuff for your turn, and then you waste a card and all of your mana on Castles Ablaze, and your stuff's still turned off, and then you have another turn where my stuff's turned off, and then your site goes away. And you just gained a card for a site on that trade. You wasted my mana and my turn, and you still got 2 turns of advantage off of it. Impossible. And if you don't play Bauer, it's not worthless, but like it's not the card you want to make the deck work.
Yeah, I can't. Silver bullets for silver bullets is just how you die.
It's called the Golden Gun.
Yeah, that is not. It's not tenable.
Did you ever play Golden Gun in Goldeneye?
Oh, of course.
Format?
Yeah.
That was fun. That was really fun. Actually.
Yeah, that's the childhood dream. I don't have a ton of video game experience, but I do have that video game experience. You ever just not really?
What's up, Angerworm? Hey, Angerworm.
Any idea?
One of my favorite people, actually. Weirdly enough, like not favorite, like not like my family and all of that, but in terms of the sorcery people that I've interacted with, Angerworm is always just fun to be around. Which is really not befitting the name Angerworm.
Yeah, it's kind of deceptive, if you ask me.
Justin, on the other hand, really hit or miss.
Metroid Prime? We live in a weird universe, right? Like,
I don't know. It's the only one we know, so who's to say it's weird?
I guess maybe better stated.
Philosopher, huh?
No. We live in a weird time in our universe where, like, Angerworm and Metroid Prime is a funny... Just that we have screen names and can converse like this over the internet.
Some wires?
I try not to think about it too often, honestly.
And the wires go under the ocean. Right? Like
they do. Yeah.
That's surely something's... That ain't.
Yeah.
Old Metroid was the one that said that he sometimes refers to us as group promise. And
yes,
I just can't stop thinking that's funny. Every single time I think about it, I laugh.
It is funny.
Hey, we're gonna talk about news at the top of the show, but there isn't any really.
Yeah,
the news is Bauer got played.
The Hunted's coming out.
We need
this week.
We need all our partners and publishers to do
Get
something
with it. Well, there's a bunch last
kidding.
week.
Yeah, it was all stacked up.
There's a bunch last week. We've got some real news coming up that we're behind. That we'll be announcing.
Ooh, Teasy Steven. Teasy Stevie.
Let me put on my Teasy Stevie persona. We could do a whole short, we could do episodes.
Yeah, this is Teasy Stevie.
I don't know why I like Teasy Stevie more than board games.
It's the announcement of the announcement, which are our favorites.
Yeah, that's always good, right?
We'll be announcing something soon.
All right, hey, come. Can you go to the overhead for me?
So here, last week I played, I want to give a little context on my life real quick, and then I'll let you talk for a while.
Oh, thanks. Very kind of you.
Yeah, well, I just want to get it out of the way. So last week I played Avatar of Earth.
Wait, which part?
Who knows? Last week I played Avatar of Earth, and it was Earth Fire. And I just don't think that's right at all. And Steven almost beat me, so I have to actually play a serious deck now.
And I spent that whole game thinking you had grapple shots.
I several times was like,
I don't have air.
You would say that, and I was like, "Hey, I don't have air on the table," and you were like,
cool, yeah, smart guy."
Fine. Anywho, so I'm just adjusting my deck to be Earth Air, and I'll be playing Avatar of Earth again. Meanwhile, Steven will actually be.
So it's going to be back to the good version. That's a bummer. But at least you don't have imps and stuff. That's pretty good, yeah. Is Jonathan whispering to me?
Yes, I'm whispering to myself.
Oh, okay. Okay, can I tell y'all where I'm at?
Please do. This is the real story here.
Here's what I think. I think the way that we approach this deck was the way that you start with anything, which is just poorly.
I could hear on your lips was wrong, but then you wanted to correct yourselves to give us a little bit of credit, particularly me. I appreciate that. My ego.
It wasn't necessarily wrong, but it was based in a lot of inconsistency and big dreams. So if you don't draw Tournament Grounds, which the deck was kind of loving Tournament Grounds, look at what's happening. Hold on, I'll show you guys. Let's just think about this for a second. Okay, we've got our multi-sites, and then there's a lesson here.
You did some work.
There's a lesson. There's a big lesson.
I saw you. So one thing that's not as normal. I love that we're doing this actually.
That's good.
The amount of you were doing so much communication in the Discord about what was going on for you. Yeah. I was doing some of that, but
I'm a talker.
It's cool to watch that. And I was trying to pay attention enough to understand the conversation, but not really remember what you're doing going into this game.
Yeah, good.
And I think I threaded that needle really well.
Good. Well,
I know you're changing, and I think it's water fire, but outside that, I really wasn't paying attention. I like to be surprised.
Okay.
To my detriment.
So here's what we learned. We tried to do the 4 threshold thing. To do that with AL only, you have to run annual fair. And we should have known right off the bat, this is a mistake. Because you're running annual fair, which immediately undoes the advantage you have from Templar, just so that you can play stuff on the same curve that everybody else can play it. So, complete waste of time. Why? It's like, it's not only not good for you, or good for you, or not good for you. What I'm saying is, it's bad for you. the site, your sites need to do something.
That's
half of the game is you're playing sites. They better be doing something.
When we were picking the sites, I told you, I was like, I feel like you start here and it's gonna be way overkill.
Yeah.
And not necessary.
You know what other site doesn't do anything? Tournament Grounds. You play it, it does nothing. It has no impact. It's just so that you can play the cards in your deck. Every other deck on the planet can play their cards, and you've got to waste all these slots just to play cards? They're not that good. The cards are not that good that you should be going out of your way. Camelot, yeah, uniques cost 1 less, but you rarely have the threshold in time for that to matter. So yeah, you can cast your 2-cost knight, or your 3-cost knight becomes a 2-cost with Templar, becomes a 1-cost with Camelot, but you've only played 1 or 2 sites, and you can't afford the threshold anyway. And this doesn't give you any threshold, and that's your big problem.
That's your problem.
Valley of Delight, which I'm still running, but again, it's the wrong card. It's bad. It does nothing for you. It has no impact on the game.
Why are you still running it?
Well,
wow.
Hey.
Gonna be that kind of day.
It's AL only. It's AL only, Zach.
That's a fine answer.
Only do so
I was
much.
just genuinely asking.
I'll tell you why here in a second.
I'm still running it, but I don't like it.
Now, at least the double threshold cards are doing something more than a standard blank site. Okay. There's 2 icons instead of 1. Technically 3.
The real reason I haven't been joining those Discord conversations is because I get my hand bit off.
All right, here's what else we've discovered. Poison Well works. That's fine. It didn't work like I thought it does, but it only hits enemy avatars. Fine.
Yeah, Poison Well better than Cursed Land.
Cursed Land, most of the time, is hurting me more than anybody.
Yep.
Every time, it's just the wrong. You're playing a deck that is so bound by trying to get the right thresholds that you can't possibly wait to position these sites perfectly. So don't play anything that has to be positioned perfectly. So Cursed Land comes out. Forge, that's a site that does something, finally.
Love it.
If nothing else, Forge allows your avatar ability to be turned into a Lance token. Okay? That's fine. I'll take that. That's very Arthurian. We get +1 in first strike. We reduce the cost of the knight to 1. We play it on the same curve, but we now get a lance token. I think that's a usable thing. A lot of times that 1 discount you can't do anything with, so you may as well turn it into a lance. So when we're stuck here thinking about this, it's like, okay, well, first of all, we're not going to be able to play all 4 colors. That's instantly what you know.
I mean, step 1.
So, and then if you look at your knights, you're like, most of the quit that, dude. It had a visceral impact on me just now. Quit that. Quit that.
It's just like it's creeping on you.
Yeah, get it out of here.
Doing like this
I
thing.
don't want to
It's
see
like,
it. I don't want to see it. It's been in my nightmares for so long.
Just update my site list. We'll see if this makes the cut. I don't know if it's good enough.
So here's what I did, Zach. I looked at all the knights, all the sirs really is what it is. And you see the patterns, and basically the best ones are 2 threshold X, 2 threshold Y.
Is it a particular threshold, or is it just generally?
It's around the horn. So there's 4 of them, and there's like a fire, earth.
It's like 2 earth, 1 fire, 1 air.
No, the opposite. Not the opposite. 2 earth, 2 water. 2 fire,
the 2
air.
yeah.
So like Mordred is that way, Lancelot is that way, I believe.
Yep.
The other one is that way. Then you've got
The other one.
You've got the fanciest knight of all, which is the Green Knight, and that's 3 water.
I like picturing him in like a monocle.
And then you've got the best card in the set, Morgana, which is 3 fire. And then you've got Tithe from Earth, which is 3 earth. And it's like, that's not good enough for this deck. It's a good card though. And then you've got the 3 air, which is like the weird one. What does that do? What's the 3 air card? It's in the set. It has a weird impact. Is it the Barrage? Merlin, yes. Thank you. And that's just not for this deck.
I can't believe I knew that.
Yeah, you're a genius.
I'm a wizard.
So I looked through
Merlin joke.
I looked through all of those knights. And what I discovered was that if you play fire, you get the bonus, which is Brother Knight, which is a knight that's outside of the knight threshold, like the template. It's outside of the template. You fire, you get the Warhorse. Air, you get the Fine Courser. Fire, you also get the bonus Black Knight, which I believe is much better than White Knight. So it allows you to control, maybe you sneak some early damage in because you know you have Black Knight in hand, and that is a pretty good beefy unit there for that cost. And so I pretty quickly decided, also had Mordred in fire, pretty quickly decided that fire was going to have to be one of my elements. And I think it was going to be kind of the primary element.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah.
He's a fireman.
Well, it's just because, yeah. Wow. It's just because
Unintentional joke.
you pick up Warhorse, you pick up Brother Knight.
Can you just pull Warhorse on the screen? I love this card. And I love
And
this
then
art.
I started looking at non-knights.
Look at that.
Yeah. And you know what I found is I found like the best cards in this set are kind of fire cards for me. Like Monstrous Lion, that's a great card. That's a 4/4 with
card.
charge.
Notably, it doesn't have the word mortal on it.
It doesn't have the word mortal, and it works very well with lance tokens. So suddenly you've got a 5 first strike charge that hits the table.
Can we pull that guy out?
Yeah, which one is it?
Monstrous Lion.
I love that one.
It's such a good card. It's like, this is the removal that Arthurian Legends is pushing, which I love it. It's unit-based removal, which is great. But like, there's going to be a lot of situations where I can just pass a lance token to this lion and then whoosh, kill something, a 5 strength, 4 strength thing.
Charge
I
seems
stay on the
pretty
board,
good.
and then I can start attacking your avatar. Then we've got the Siege Giants. We know Siege Giant. You played Sealed.
It's the best.
It's the best card. It comes out and immediately throws one of your knights where it needs to be, and then it's a 4 on the floor.
Let me say, in my
4 on the floor.
In my sealed deck, which made it to day 2 of Sorcery Con, I had both Siege Giant and Helpful Hob.
Yeah.
And it was just, you can get anybody anywhere. It was great.
I'll tell you what. And you know what's crazy? So you notice that Siege Giant does something the turn that it comes out. You know, that's a key. Because it's not a tap ability. You don't have to tap it to do it. You just once per turn throw that bad boy.
Yep.
So it comes in and it does something. What does Monstrous Lion do? It comes in and it does something. What does Rebex do? It comes in and it does something.
You don't even need me to take Bower of Bliss out.
Look at that thing. You're right. So he counts himself. So he's just got charge, a four strength charge guy. He gives all my siege giants charge, right? So pretty solid for a 5 cost. And then you've got all of your fillers. So you've got, in my mind, Lugbog Cat comes in at a 3/4. If I start going into water, so then water starts looking really good. I've also got the Green Knight, which I kind of want to play. You know, you have your flagship unit is a knight in water. Morgana's not, Tithe isn't, Merlin isn't, but the only knight that is in the flagship spot is in blue. I'm running the avatar that is all about knights.
That makes sense.
So I'm starting to go...
This starts to check out.
I'm starting to go water, fire.
So, and then you get to play Mordred.
Yes, so I play Mordred and Green Knight.
Mordred is I hate that this is a half water card.
Yes. So Mordred is there.
And guess what he does? He does something
stuff.
when he shows up and when he leaves.
Jonathan, can you put that on the tape? He does something when he shows up on the board. Welcome to the way that Sorcery Aggro needs to play. Then I pick up Nelly Longarms if I'm in water, right?
I mean, this is a classic. It's the, how do I even explain this in a cogent way? So, Alpha Clash, very similar to Magic. One of the key things that's different about it, though, is that every card has haste.
Yeah.
Which is charge in sorcery language. And it makes me realize how geared most games are for control, because you put things into play that they get summoning sickness. Your opponent has an opportunity to do something about it before you do anything.
Right.
So yes, anything that does something on enter, on play, charge, etc., like you should multiply their. If you took that away, whatever they're worth to you, multiply by like 1.5 to 2.
100%.
That maybe, and sometimes more, but that's just like a baseline. Those words should scream at you.
I'm totally on it. And I even think cards like, Warhorse obviously has charge, etc., but also move stuff. Blue Knight, or like these templated knights, which I absolutely adore. Like this is a pet card thing for me, is like these 3
Sets
cost
of
knights.
cards, yeah.
I love them. But on enter generates a lance token, does something to produce value. So pretty much everything in the deck is doing something when it comes into play. There's some exceptions. Nelly's an exception of that. But then you think about Nelly paired with things like Warhorse and Siege Giant, where you can throw Nelly where Nelly needs to be to start moving things.
Bounce something over, move it, charge it.
The long arms are,
flip it,
are hidden, and then you see how it happens. Now to support that, I decided I needed one more color because it allowed me to pick up 2 more, really probably 2 more knights, 3 more knights. I think you get 3 more Sirs for each color you add to your 2-color pie.
Okay.
And so then there was an excruciating decision. You can either add air or you can add earth. And I wanted to add only 1 threshold air or 1 threshold earth because I didn't want to have to chase down a 2/2/2 site placement, because I'm only playing 5 sites in any given game, God willing. Because Templar has 2 strength, needs to go do something with it if you're going to actually run this avatar.
You don't want to tap to draw sites, basically.
I want to play as few sites as possible. My curve tops out at 6, but all my 6s are knights that I can play for 5.
Unless Bower Bliss is out.
Unless Bower Bliss is out, but it won't be because it's banned. From this game, this table right now, it is banned. So I want to only play 5 sites. So I can usually get 2 Thresh Air, or 2 Thresh Water, 2 Thresh Fire. And then I can do 1 of something else. And then if I need to kind of like juice it a little bit for Morgana or for Blue Knight, I can do that. I've got the 4 doubles, so if I see one of those, I've increased my odds of doing well. And I looked between Earth and Air. And Earth, you pick up Sir Ironside. Good card. 4 strength, 7 on your turn. It's a good card. Safe card. Good card. It's a good card.
I can't forget you saying, he kind of looks like that mountain behind you.
Is this a comedy show? And then you also pick up Sir Morian.
I think it's not a comedy show. It's whatever the amateur version of that is. It's funny because we're not that funny, actually.
That's right. Yeah.
We enjoy each other's humor, I think.
I think. Sir Morian's great, obviously. Case in point.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's not that funny.
Sir Morian's great.
He's trying to get through it. Yeah, go ahead.
Summon 2 footies and then projectile can't enter, so that's fine. But 3 strength is just so vulnerable. It kind of bothers me. So then I got to thinking, well, I got to win this game quick because I'm playing to 5 sites. I've got 2 strength on my avatar. I don't have any cards on the deck because in this deck, trying to get that elite draw all for your uniques, complete waste of time. So I need to start winning quickly. And I've got cost reduction built in. I need it to be fast. So I don't think Morin and Ironside are fast enough when compared to Serpelius that you get to pick up.
Are you on Peleus?
Yes.
What?
Now that card is the 2-drop of a lifetime. And I gotta tell you, Jesse really sent it for me because I had not, he was in our Discord talking about it. I had not really put together the fact that you play it submerged and it can come up and strike across for a single action because it moves freely from submerged to surface. So like I'm safe and then I can still strike across to the enemy site.
Yeah, that checks out.
That's so good. And it's 4 strength as a 2-drop. Remarkable.
So he submerges and unsubmerges for free.
That's right. As a part of movement. Crazy.
I get that.
I always thought it was just moving across water, but it's moving up and down water too.
Yeah.
Which is kind of the whole point of the card. We're just bad at this game still.
Well, yes.
And then you pick up Surveillin, Balin.
House Greyjoy.
And this is just a solid card.
I love the guy standing in the background.
So 4/4. Yeah,
I don't know if you noticed that or not.
It's a good part of the art. So it's basically a 4/4 first strike. So it comes in with that lance token, and then it has a weird avatar striking effect.
Okay.
You've got siege giants and stuff, so like you could technically sink it. Sometimes it's going to matter. A lot of times it will not. Especially because a lot of times it won't. But that's fine. And so those are the 2 things you pick up, and then you've got basically the spread of like kind of purple knight, blue knight, verdant knight, whatever. They couldn't call it green knight. Did you see that? Did you realize that?
Because
there is
a green knight.
Yeah, it's the big one.
So they call it verdant.
Yes.
It means like leafy, right?
Like green.
Plants.
Green.
But it's not just green.
Like healthy, flourishing green.
Flourishing green.
Are you doubting me right now?
I'm just asking questions. I'd like to understand.
So I'm splashing air solely for those 2 nights.
What about banishment? Is that one? Not one.
Banishment's gone as 2 threshold.
It didn't fit inside of his rules.
I liked the idea of what you were doing with banishment.
Yeah, I did too. And it kind of worked.
Yeah.
Until they played Bower.
In my experience, you got to be careful not to let ideas get in the way of deck building.
Thank you, Zach. Appreciate it. So could you drop the air threshold and just go a little bit more in the fire water consistent direction? Probably. That's probably what you should do. But I wanted to pick up those 2 more nights. And I also, I think, is verdant, is that earth, etc.?
Surely it's earth, right?
Verdant, and then what's the other one?
Earth,
Purple?
That's earth,
can't see 'cause of the
water,
line.
and then
Fire, air.
hold on. I guess I
night.
can just Google night and then arrange by cost. There's a reason that air is important here. I remember this.
It's notable to me that you called searching on something Google it, even though
Did I
you're
do
not
that?
on
I
Google.
literally
Yeah.
said that.
Yeah, just then. You said, let me Google night. And I was like, if you Googled night, I don't think you're going to get what you're looking for.
So here's the other reason that this choice was made, the air choice. So I'm running water fire, but if I just run water fire, I get 0 of those 3-cost nights because there's not a water fire version of this night package. There's air water, air fire, earth water, earth fire.
Because the water, fire, and the air, earth are the black and white nights, right?
Yes, exactly.
But, yeah, are different.
So I wanted to I had to add a 3rd color to pick up 2 options for these nights. Either earth would get me 2 or air would get me 2.
Sense.
And so I chose air for the 2 unique nights and then to pick up blue knight and the other one. So basically you get 8 nights. And I feel like with Templar, that's important. I really, really love these 3-cost knights, dropping the lance tokens, giving them to a charge unit, moving around, giving them to my avatar, all those kinds of things. So the rebuild is involving that configuration. And then I pick up Great Famine, which is an incredible aura great removal in this game. I've got 2 Sword and Shields that are staying in, or that are being added to. I don't know if I had them in previously. I'm gonna run 4 Grievous Insults. Cantrip draws me a card.
Card's good.
Fits with the aggro theme.
You put the Sword and Shields in.
I put some Sword and Shields in.
Yeah.
I've got 2 Shatter Strikes from 3, and then I'm adding 1 Lava Flow. Because I think it's a good game ender. I think it's also good if your avatar is planning to be in the mix at a 5/4/2. Could shake up the game, give me some card advantage, etc. So that's what I'm about to build right now.
Physically,
no one lives forever.
Well,
It's worth noting for the people out there that Steven has posted the deck list. On
Yes,
Curiosa.
you can search Covenant Stream on Curiosa.
and that's
there.
the version you're building now.
Yeah, so the first one you can find there, and then the second one you can find there as well. That's okay, right?
That's okay.
You guys mind a little computer coming
I don't
at
think
you?
anyone cares.
I mean, I just don't have enough room. I could put it like right here, maybe.
We need a custom table is what we need, because you need a little desk over there. I felt that way too. Like if I had
I
a
could put
thing
it like right
here,
here. This would be nice.
that I could do the thing. Or like
Wait a
right there, literally. Hold on.
Right where?
If there was something right there that put it on,
You could almost put it right here.
oh, that's kind of out of the way.
Here, actually, can we do? You want to do a little team sport? I'll call out the cards and you find them, or vice versa. Which one would you rather do?
I don't care. Whichever one gets us to the table faster.
Okay, then here.
Which one do you think I'm better suited to?
You're a good rifler.
So speaking of rifle, in case you're wondering, this is a bulk box that I'm talking
Whoa!
from.
Look at this coffee shop
Oh,
hobo
someone-
showed up.
Oh yeah,
He's
Jonathan's
stealing our
technique.
cards.
Yeah.
He's stealing our cards.
There you go.
If you haven't checked out
Rifle.
bulk box yet, do it.
Correct rifle.
It's on the website.
You must be a friend of
I rifled it
David's
on.
up there in Seattle.
It's kind of rainy today.
It is kind of rainy, yeah.
Thank goodness.
Did you call me a coffee shop hobo?
He's riding the trains and drinking espresso, so I don't know how he's pulling it off.
Oh lordy. Well, hey, one of the upsides. Can you move? I don't want to smush your stuff. One of the upsides
Yes,
of
on mid
Arthurian Legends only is that there's a lot less cards to go through.
Yeah, and it's like I love limited deck building so
John,
much.
the playset is just over here of all the things, or is this uniques or?
Yeah, so uniques at the very beginning, and then elites, and then you can imagine where it goes from there. And then the elements are in order.
Okay.
Okay, so let's start with things I
Tell
do
the random
have.
asking the questions that matter. This is bulk box. teamcover.com/bulk box. I don't know if that URL works.
Let's do our sites first. Okay, we're gonna start with the non-ordinaries. I can't believe the kind of sites I was running. It's absolutely stupid. Troll Bridge and Kelp Cavern from Water, if you would please.
Oh, I'm on duty here.
Yeah.
Say that again. You know what? Have you seen this?
This is never getting done.
Sorcery Wordle. Sorcergle.
Yes, I did see it.
I'm now involved in it. I'm participating as someone trying to solve them. The other day,
Playing?
yeah, I'm a
Participating
player.
as someone trying to solve them?
I didn't want to like when I say alien. When I said involved, I didn't want it to be like I'm a part of the people who do it.
Right. Okay.
I have nothing to do with
That's also
it.
a weird way to say it, though.
Yeah.
You're just playing them.
I am just, but it's not. Is it playing? I don't know.
It's a game, right?
I don't know if Zach. This English is Zach's first.
Are you
language.
solving? You're solving them.
Yes.
Like a Wordle.
Yes. It is playing, I guess, but that's not the word that would occur to me to do it.
That didn't make sense.
Anywho, the other day, like you guess and it tells you like, does it cost more or less? Is it higher or lower? Like unique, exceptional. Like if you say exceptional, it's a unique. It'll point up and tell you it's higher than that.
Oh, yeah. Okay, right.
And it kind of gives you clues as to where you're
I
at.
didn't
But
know that.
But you enter the name of a card, and it's only alpha, beta. And my first guess was something, and I landed on, it was just a 1 water threshold thing I knew.
Uh-huh.
And it was like, all right, I'm done. Because I can't even name, I was joking in the office, I was like, I don't even think I can name 5 water cards. Seriously. And then they were like, oh, come on, try. And I started, I got to 4. And I was just like, and the 4 that were like drown, and even now, it's like, I don't remember what they were. Anyways, it's really bad. So you named water cards, and it's just like my brain filters them out. What do you need?
Hey,
What's
hold
the
on a
rarity?
second. We're going to get there, but it reminded me that I need to show you this. No, I'm not show you. I'm not going to just like show you while everybody else watches. I was scrolling through Hub World's Game Found,
Uh-huh.
No lie. This is real.
No cap.
We can plug your computer in if you really want.
No. There's too many tabs open that reveal things. R111552, which I don't believe is you, says in the comments of Hubworld, you guys should partner with Bulk Box for your game boxes. Was that you? Did you put that?
No.
They make a quality product that fits your sustainability goals as manufacturing in both the UK and the US. So, word spread, buddy.
This is true. They do.
We're going to be millionaires.
Oh, yeah? Tell me more.
Box Tycoons.
Go to the Elite section.
Okay, yep.
And
Box
then look for, go to Water,
okay.
which is the upside down triangle.
He's just pulling them out.
It's blue. Oh, no.
I don't know. My whole system.
Don't let him
I
pull
work
out.
No, okay, I'm at
so
Water.
hard
That's
on
fine.
this.
2 Kelp Caverns, please.
Kelp Caverns.
Yeah,
What
they
kind of
look-
card is this?
They look like Kelp Caverns. Site.
Yeah, okay. This is what I was saying, though, about
We're going to up your game.
Sorcertle was like,
Good.
I have no clue.
Hey, how does one get to Sorcertle? How does
I
one
just
find
type it in.
I actually don't know. I'm useless.
Zach answer on the play.
What happened is Robert tagged me in a task that pops up every day that has a link to it. And a couple of us are in there. So it shows up and we all see it. And then we all click it and share how long it took us to solve it. I one shot, one killed today. First guess, just nailed the
that's
card.
not possible.
It is insane. It's also insane because my average is like 8.
Yeah.
Which
Well,
is
congratulations.
above-
That feels good.
No.
No, not that part. The first part.
Oh
The
yeah,
solving it in one guess.
I had a success today. The average is bad. But sometimes you hit a homer. You know.
Go to exceptional water troll bridge 3. Look, good sites. You see what's happening? We're starting to run good sites instead of bad ones.
Sites that do things.
Yes, they actually have an impact on the game. They
Yeah, we like it.
allow
Okay, you
to
said
succeed.
Troll Bridge.
3 troll bridges, please.
1, 2.
Nailed it. Boom. Okay, and then I think we're just in the ordinaries.
No.
We need 2 bogs and 2
Are these sorted?
forges.
No.
That's how my ordinaries and exceptionals are just. Here's 2 rows of ordinaries and a row of exceptionals.
You can give me a stack if you want.
What are we looking for?
2 bogs and 2 forges.
2 bogs and 2 forges.
That'll be easy.
Yeah, they'll be here quick. Wow, I feel like I have like a concierge situation. You could offer this in 2.0 or 5.0.
Sort your cards.
Yeah, we'll just.
He's got random foil magic missiles in here.
What if you could just send us
What chaos
What
is
if you could
this?
send us a deck list through the app or whatever, and
Hey,
then
I've already
the
pitched
deck
this
will
to
be.
Zach, by the way.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. We could.
We'd
do
have
it.
to have a massive collection of cards.
I
that
got
we
a
don't
bog.
Sell. I got a bog. All right, we
One
got
bog,
bog.
yeah.
Wait.
Here, I'll take the bog and we're done.
We talked about a long time ago doing like you have a subscription and you can have like 2 or 4 or whatever decks out at a time, and you can send it back in and replace it. There's a lot of problems with that.
Yeah,
But, like,
there's-
the
with
idea.
collectibles especially.
Again, I don't know how possible it is. But the idea, like, you could that afternoon, you could make a deck and then send it, and we'll have like a robot sort it, and it's ready for you after work.
I think. I mean,
I like that.
you were talking
Robots
about.
are ambitious.
Was it last week on stream? No, it was the short. I saw a short recently of you waxing poetic about TCGs have gotten too easy to collect, so it kind of changes the
Oh yeah,
experience.
that was Steven. Yeah, that was
thing?
yesterday.
Yeah. Is removing deck building from people?
Well, I also saw a short about Steven talking about how sorting the cards is the game, which I like.
I think I just say everything so that you can just decide what you want.
I mean, welcome to the internet.
To believe.
But just if you could submit a digital list and show up and it was just there for you, it would be nice.
It
Yeah,
would be nice.
But sometimes convenience.
It's gonna be a question every time because there's some things that are convenient that are good.
To me, the actual playing of the game is the most valuable piece. So that's the part I don't really want to digitize or automate. Like being able to play on a platform where you can play Sorcery, knows the rules for you and all that stuff. It's like what I don't really understand. I mean, I understand why people do it, but that's jumping the shark for me. But it is. I don't know if that effort makes it more enjoyable that you have to go through that to experience that thing, and we all build decks and sort collections and stuff, or if you could remove that entirely, and I would still be.
Yeah,
It'd be replaced by joy of just getting to play more. Like
I would take the hand me a deck
I think I would too.
Yeah.
Like, but we wouldn't get to have this moment if I could just hand you a deck for a machine.
But like, let's say you're a busy person.
I said that's what I was.
Did I stutter?
All right, hold on a second. We have actual deck building things here that need to be considered. So I just want everybody to understand the stakes of what's going on. Here are my sites now. So I've got an equal spread of only water and only fire. And then I've got the 3 sites that give me water and fire plus air. So technically one of them gives me earth and nobody cares about earth. But I'm just looking at, these are 3 sites that I can play that satisfy my 1 earth threshold and also work towards my other threshold goals. I also went ahead and included the double air fire because, you know, those are my elements. And then Valley of Delight is here to literally, there are moments where your 5th site needs to be specifically either water or fire. Or if you are totally gold bricked the entire game and you see none of these air sites, you have to spend this on air and nobody's happy about it.
So we got back around to why you're playing Valley of Delight.
Yeah, that's why. And I could, as Jesse suggested, make these beacons, which are actually usable and very good air sites, to give me more mana sooner to get those discounts popping. I tested these during like just some gold fishing. Every time I played this card and got more money, I didn't have the threshold to do anything with it because I was so struggling to get to the right threshold.
Yeah.
And then I realized that there were a lot of games where I needed 1 more fire or 1 more air when I drew my beacon, and I already had an air threshold in play, and I was like, well, this isn't very good. So Valley Delight is doing something that's consistency. It's not winning. It's just not losing. Not losing. Mm-hmm. It's not winning. But it is not losing.
Interesting.
Yeah. Zach really put on his listening face to that one, didn't he? Are we playing yet?
I heard what you said.
What do you say? What do you say?
Let me get Serena on the horn.
You said it's not winning, it's just not losing. Blah, blah, blah. I was trying to actually come up with a positive comment in response, but
it was outside of your grasp, huh?
Everything I could think to say could be read as just unhelpful or snarky. So
well, that's a level of self-awareness that I think is to be celebrated.
Yeah. Turns out you don't have to say everything you think.
Okay, look at these are the good cards, though. We're running the good cards. Now, hey, let me show you something else.
If we replace this deck building, I wouldn't be having as much fun.
I agree. All right, we've agreed. We've solved it.
But deck building in a room with someone else that you're talking to while this is all going on is more enjoyable to me than deck building alone. Just like at a desk or something.
You're right.
Deck building can be a part of the experience, I guess, is perhaps the point.
Mm-hmm. All right, check this out, Zach. I want you to see this because this might happen to you. So first turn, it doesn't really matter. Any water site would be fine. Let's just do a non-fancy one so that nobody thinks the point is draw the one of or whatever. So, all right, you play a water site on turn 1. This is if you're going second specifically. So you play a site, I play a water site on turn 1. You play a site, I play Poison Well on my turn. So enemy avatars lose 1 life for each nearby site they control. That would be 1. You lose 1 life. I play Black Knight for 2. Boom, 5/3 on turn 2.
I see.
Turn 2.
Yeah.
And then you don't remove it.
Clearly.
That's the next piece of that. So, but you're not playing fire anymore.
But that's still on turn 2 an exceptionally powerful series of events.
That's right.
And your deck needs to have those.
I agree.
And, it's like football teams having plays they're running,
Your deck needs to be good.
Yeah.
It needs to do things that are scary.
Totally random. I come home from school expecting Steven's Revenge to be blown away, and it's all bulk boxes and talk of water sites.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not the best at delivering content.
No, that's not true. If what you're looking for is efficient content, we're not the best at that.
Well, you mean like the gameplay. This is pretty efficient.
I'm talking about efficient from if what you're
Get
here
to the
to
point.
do is just witness a game of Sorcery be played.
Yeah.
We're not the most efficient content for that.
That's right. You're right.
But that's why we put the markers on the video.
Yeah,
watch
the live audience is really the one that suffers.
Yeah, well, they're.
I mean, they signed up for it.
They know
Man,
what-
you click the button.
You're live. Hey.
This is live.
Why are you gonna click that like button?
It's not like a surprise.
Subscribe and hey, what are our subscribers at? Anybody?
You don't want
The
to.
trend is down and to the right.
It's not good.
Hit me. What is it?
Hold on.
What did we start
pull
at?
this up. Let me pull
39, 38, 56?
It's I need some help.
56.8.
56.8. We started at 57,000.
We need to all band
We've lost 200
together.
subscribers?
Yeah.
56.1.
We're about to go in the tank at 55.
You have 56.1? Why does mine say 56.8?
Well, you probably paid the money to tell you good news.
What?
I'm pretty sure all subscribers are going to 0 on YouTube because
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
We've gained 6,000 more than usual in the last 30 days.
6,000 subscribers? That's good news.
But we've also
That can't be true.
lost 61 on average.
Go to the uniques if you would, please, Zach. Do you have your fake uniques in the uniques as well?
If
a
it says
fake
unique, it's in unique.
Yeah, good for you.
I'm not gonna try to be smarter than the
Dude,
words.
these got foil uniques. Just
Hey, I need the Green Knight. I need Rebex.
hold on. Slow your roll.
Green Knight in blue.
Oh, I see what you mean by fake uniques.
Yeah.
Dude, he's bowered to high heavens in here. He's got so many bowers.
I think my curio's in there somewhere, so be careful.
Man's just loosing a curio in a bulk box.
Sorry, what? Green Knight?
Yes.
I got distracted by the insanity happening.
Give me a Nelly long arms as well while you're in there, would you?
Jesus Christ.
It's organized.
No, it is
Nelly.
organized.
Okay, and then Jonathan, do you put any knight that starts with a blue is in the blue slot?
The multi-threshold are in their own category.
I mean,
Okay.
at least it's in a sleeve, I guess. Look at this thing. This is the curio Jonathan didn't tell us about forever.
Wait, that's the Bower.
No, it's not.
It was
Is it not?
No, I'm surprised you don't have it etched into your soul.
Well, but like, isn't it a version of? I mean, it looks like it's got unicorns and
well, it's
beasts
in a different
on it.
language. I couldn't tell you.
it was. I opened that at like
Rosalind
1
Leande.
a.m. after I was done working, and I was like, I can't read this.
Can you top down me?
Yep.
Yeah, look at this thing.
It looks like Bower from afar.
Yeah.
Maybe everything looks like Bower to me right now. Can you go into Fire Uniques and look up Rebex, the giant?
I love Reeves.
Okay, thank you.
Frank, man, not looking forward to changing my 57K tattoo. Thank you, Laura Slaughter, saying I did smash that like button.
Okay, and then can we get into? Let's see, I've got aggravating.
Man, I will say I'm not a water guy, but the Green Knight Curio.
Yeah. Can we get into the unique pile?
I'm still
Fire.
Yeah.
That was uniques. Oh wait, elite pile. We need 2 monstrous lions.
I love that you're playing that card.
Yeah, I started reading the cards.
Well, it helps. It is difficult to build on stream. Just saying.
Yeah.
All right, Fire Elites.
2 monstrous lions, please.
All right. Well, you get 1 in a green sleeve and 1 not, because why not?
Can I unsleeve this?
Yep. I've got them noted.
Okay, so this is in your deck.
Yeah.
Only 1?
Oh no, that was in my sealed deck.
Oh, 6 sealed card.
Yeah, I had a great sealed deck. I had that and the ring of
Morgan?
winning the game. Yeah.
This
Okay,
is Champions Ring.
we're moving to exceptionals. I need 1 warhorse. Now, I thought I had a spread of... I have 2 already.
Oh, okay.
I had a spread of warhorses and coursers. And I got to thinking, you know what? I have so many lance tokens. A warhorse, regardless of the carrying ability, coming in, swinging for 3 off charge is way stronger than a courser 2 first strike with charge. So I thought it would have more utility as an attacker and as a little ferry boat. But it obviously is not as good as at moving things around. So, but there's a lot of lance tokens that switch me to making sure I do all warhorses. I need 3 Lugbog cats, please. Exceptional. Water. Very good. Very good. You're doing a great job over there.
Yeah, thanks.
Really appreciate that.
The words of affirmation, appreciated.
I know your love language.
Do you?
Yeah.
Surprise, it's touch. How many do you want?
I need all of them. Three of them, yeah.
There you go.
3 kitties. And then we're about there. I need, you go to the multi-element exceptionals.
Yep.
I need 3 blue knights.
John, this is significantly better than it has any right to be.
I worked hard.
Yeah, I appreciate it. 3, what color knight? Blue?
Blue knight, yeah.
Figures.
You know it.
How many?
Just listen to yourself. You said it like 2 seconds ago. 3 of what color knight? How many? And then we need 3 siege giants, exceptional fire, and that is the end of our deck building.
It ended too soon. All right. 3 sea giants. It's like, really, hold that in my brain. The name and the number. I'm going to really do it. That's it.
Not yet. We're almost done. We got spells. We need to go... Jonathan, can you look for ordinary grievous insults in your big ordinary stack? And Zach, I need 1 lava flow. That's going to be fire exceptional.
Luckily, Grievous Insult's very easy to find.
It is, and it feels like it's everywhere.
Dude's big old face.
Thank you. And that's it for me. Thank you. You can look for grievous insults if you're just looking for something to do. And you'll notice I have a lot more... I need sword and shield, too.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
Too late. You said we were done.
Oh, and I need 1 unique The Great Famine from the box.
All right, let me finish this thing.
I went ahead and cut Ronga Miniad for the lava flow. So I'm going to test... I think lava flow is going to have more general utility for me. Because...
All right, you said...
2 first strike, not terribly
Unique
important. Unique
New York.
Great Famine.
That's red.
Yes.
Only 1 Grievous Insult over here.
Man, Tom Thumb, though. It's a good card.
Dude, he's only got 1 Great Famine, and it's foil.
Ooh, yeah.
And what was the other card you
that
needed?
one? That's beautiful.
What was the other card you had?
I just need 2 sword and shields.
And more Grievous Insults.
Or 2 swords and shields.
What kind of card is sword and shield?
Artifact.
I found it. How many?
Exceptional
2?
2. Yeah. I think 2 is the right number.
Grievous Insults. You need 3 of them.
Need 3 of them.
Been serving those up all day. 1.
This game just, I don't even care about Bauer anymore. I've overcome it. I'm happy again.
You've got the cards in your deck to not care as much now.
No, that's not true.
I mean, last week, though, you didn't have any.
You don't want a Templar deck that just plays Siege Giants.
I agree, but I'm just saying, you went from literally no hope. I'm not saying I'm playing it.
If you play Bauer, there's still almost no hope.
But key there is almost. You only need 3 of those, or you need 4 total.
4 total, yeah. 4 total.
You
Probably
said
too many.
almost, so there's hope yet remains.
Just don't play Bauer.
Well, you'll just have to find out if I am or not.
I saw you put it in your deck.
Did
you David Blaine it?
You know nothing. Jon
Is it
Snow.
is it in my shoe? My laptop bag?
Someone put a feather in your shoe.
All right, so this is a deck that's actually got an idea of what it's trying to do. That's a good sign. So remember what we learned from Michael Hamilton.
Play the good cards.
Is that really...
Go for the value.
You have a lot of catchphrases for him. What I learned from Hamilton was at the beginning of each game, you should have an idea of what you're trying to do.
It took you all the way till meeting Hamilton to figure that one out?
Yes.
He's actually one of the most exceptional people I've ever met at real time in the middle of a game, be able to zoom out and understand the strategy of the opponent and yours and how those intersect and how to effectively manipulate that. And like a crazy, and the way he explains it too, he can do it in like 2 sentences. And I'm like, that is so helpful. It's like in this game, it's all about actually this interaction right here. And you just need to, that's where you need to win the game. It's like, huh.
So identifying what their deck has to do to gain advantage and then making sure they can't do it. and then vice versa. What you have to do to gain advantage, making sure you can do it. So, okay, well, let's talk about that. How do I gain advantage? I'll tell you. Oh, wait, so you're going to tell
Specifically
me.
against me,
Yeah.
Avatar of Earth.
Yes.
So my advantage comes because I have Earth sights that make me gigantic.
Yeah.
I send my avatar in and I punch.
So the way that I can counteract that is the fact that everything you're punching has a higher than average strength value for its cost curve.
Okay.
Because all the knights are coming in. I've got... Ultimately, I would say you punching my avatar is more harmful than normal.
Yep.
Especially if I get a sword and shield on there, and so now it's kind of unhappy. What I need to do is get you to death's door as soon as possible.
So you're trying to out-tempo the Avatar of Earth.
And that's what my deck's trying to do anyway. So I might let you take some swings, but if I can get you to death's door, then you don't get any free tuna anymore. And
You're not on Earth anymore?
I'm not on Earth, which is good, and I do have water sights to protect against earthquakes and berries, so I need to be on guard against, like, when I'm thinking about positioning, I need to make sure you don't get a free, super high-value berry or earthquake. So my water sights are my safest sights against any Earth deck. I know that for sure. So I'm going to play cards early. I'm going to try to get you on the ropes very quickly, so that you don't get to start utilizing your ability and don't get to use it too much throughout the game.
Do you think you have more advantage going first or second in this game?
I think probably first, second. You know, it's weird. It's a strange question, really.
There are upsides to both because going second means you get an extra card. Compared to me on the same curve.
Going second is the only option for me to play Black 9 on turn 2.
And it's really good to have big plays, especially for whatever side is typically more disadvantageous for you. So going second is where I would assume first is better because you're wanting to be on tempo and you hope that I have like a weird stumble of like I don't have enough Earth sights and I'm not as powerful in the early game, so like you can just like get in there quickly. And you know, if you have a discount, if you do get something like Black Knight or any of the knights undercosted out early and I just don't have anything in that mid-range, you can really gain a lot of points on me.
My concern would be that if I'm going first and we both play and then I play up one and then I drop a big threat like a Serpelius, you just don't connect and you just go to the side. And then it's hard because now I got to play a site to go get you.
Yep.
And then I've got to start moving all my stuff, and so I miss out on swings.
So this is a good, kind of thing Hamilton would get to. Immediately in the game, sitting there, think about it, you're on Templar, right? I could look at that and recognize, like, oh, he's not going to want to tap to draw. So I will have an easier time. In the more sites that are out, I'm actually in the driver's seat. If this is a full board of locations and I have most of them, that's great for me.
Yeah.
So normally I'm like, go aggro. But if I see Templar,
You might say I need to slow it down.
hey, wait a second. I'm not in a rush.
Yeah.
I got to make him do it.
Yeah.
And I want to preserve my health. I don't want to get in the scrum. And then he randomly drops like a 6 cost more, something really good and like takes advantage of me. So it's easy if you're playing a deck like Avatar of Earth to get used to playing slower opponents. So you just kind of go right at them the whole time.
I totally love it. I totally agree. So what should I do then? What do you think I should do as the Avatar of Earth player?
Well, the flip side of that is you want to incentivize me not to do that. So you might be trying to bait me into engaging. Like normally, as an example, you might be like, oh, if you had grapple shot here, it'd be really bad for me. But you're willing to take that on the chin to get me
In the zone.
into the zone. It's also, if you make it too bad for me over here in terms of no Earth locations, I won't come play. So where is that line of, okay, I have a grapple shot, I got an Earth sight here, an Earth sight here, maybe you move the Templar up here. And it's like, oh, I can hit you for 4 or 5. That's pretty appealing.
Yeah.
But if you're staying back here, you hide over here, it's like, well, I have no
True.
option.
So I want to try to give you something tantalizing enough to come out to the middle, but still not good enough that I'm going to lose the game because of it.
Yeah, and hopefully if I do come out to the middle, you then immediately have a way to severely penalize me for it.
Like hold like a monstrous lion to immediately hit you for 4 or 5.
Yeah. And like, Monstrous Lion, if I happen to get the spear on me, and once I get to that break point of 4 or 5 strength, your job gets a lot harder because even Lion is now just going to die to that.
Right.
But if you get a swing with Lion and you're not dead, that's
a big one.
That's where the juice is.
That's where lances can match the first strike. That's where shatter strikes can kill the wrong miniad or whatever.
However you pronounce
There's
it.
some good options here. Okay. Shall we away? Do you want to cut this thing?
Even Steven?
Even Steven.
I don't want to cut. Even. Dealer's choice.
I'm going to go second.
Okay.
I do want you to play that second site up. And I think you want to do that if you haven't thought too hard about it.
This site?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think it's correct, even if I want a longer game, to play out this way. Because Earth sites being in the middle is really important for me. Unless I just want it to be a unit scrum. Which, if I knew you were, was really macroing you, and I knew you were on only Arthurian Legends, and I have Bower in my deck, then I would be like, I do want it to be a unit scrum.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Okay. Yeah. Reasonable there. Let's see if we got anything going on here. Okay, this is a good example of, I really like my spells. I'll just play a little, just hide your attention for a second.
You want to
Yeah.
spicy water?
Yes.
You need anything, John?
Love it.
No.
So I've got a 2-drop with the discount, a 3-drop with the discount, and then a 4-drop Siege Giant, which can really position Geharis in an interesting way, or even throw my Templar up, although I don't really want him in the back row. So this is a pretty good little curve to threaten kind of some early stuff. And we've got a Valley of Delight, a Troll Bridge, and a Forge. What I'm actually looking for is any of the triple air, the triple threshold sites that have an air on them. So I'm going to pitch this whole thing and try to find one of those, because this is kind of like basically just starting over. It doesn't change my ratios hardly at all. Poison Well. Kelp is not great. So I'm probably going to draw a site as my first draw to take one more crack at getting air, because I really need to see that air by turn 2. And you could hold the Valley of Delight to do that, but ideally I'm going to see a back row situation. And the odds are pretty good that that's going to happen. I think Poison Well is pretty good in this matchup, actually, because Zach's probably going to want to play a bunch of Earth sites, right? And so Poison Well is going to be able to punish him for having those out. I can also try to dig for a Black Knight as my first draw to see if I can do Kelp Cavern Poison Well. I get 2 cracks at it. The odds of that are not nearly as high as just getting that air site. So that's what I'm going to stick to. So even when we look at, I've got the threshold I need now to play Siege Giant. I need 1 water and I need 1 air. So the pressure's on. These decks, these Templar decks, to me, at least the way that I built it, is going to win or lose. It's going to lose some games based on not seeing the threshold that it needs. And let's hope this is not one of them.
That Poison Well represents 3 damage. Those 2.
Yeah, potentially, yes, depending on when they're played. And that's the thing is, I think it's good for me. I'm going to start drawing sites because I know my curve up to turn 4. And I don't necessarily want to have to play a Poison Well early unless I need to. Because if I play it here after his first, that's 1 damage. If I can wait and he plays another site left or right, and then I hit him for 2, that's much better. So I'd prefer to hold him. And I do have Kelp Cavern here, so if I don't see my air site now, I'll probably Kelp Cavern just to see if I see Black Knight on top. And if I do see Black Knight, then I'll go ahead and do the turn 2 Poison Well Black Knight. So I've got some options.
I like it. There's a path to victory.
We need to just, I do think there's like, and maybe it's kind of different. Maybe we'll work this into the new format that you're ideating, but the whole idea of like really being able to, and Tabletop kind of did this, the Will Wheaton one, but rather than like after the fact sitting off to the side and being like, oh yeah, when you played the thing, I was really, which is also cool. Just any amount of insight into what you're thinking while you're playing, I think is really interesting. I wish I could hear the thoughts of people like Hamilton or, like Paul Heaver during an X-Wing game. I would love to know what's going on in his head.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're good. Yeah.
Yeah, a little powwow, I guess.
Yeah,
Zach
it's
was absolutely watching his phone while he was.
Yeah, I was just lemon
Was
and
he staring?
grapefruit dealer stores.
great. Thanks. Pompomoose, please. All right, you got the first stack shown.
Did you mulligan?
Yes, I'm mulligan 3 sites.
Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna not mulligan.
You got 2 open beverages right next to your computer now, and your sorcery cards. Love it.
Yeah.
That's great. There's no way you'd be reaching for the soda or the sparkling water and hit the other water. And... Go ahead.
Here's a question.
Yeah. If it's Bower, you need to just...
I don't draw on the first turn, right?
No. Okay. That's the question?
Yeah. It's educational for out there that has no
Thank you
idea.
for being the guy that doesn't know the rules, as an act. Did you mulligan anything?
No, I don't. I don't mulligan.
Nothing.
I'm trying to give you some micro advantages.
If I ran into you at a tournament and you said, I don't mulligan, I would be like, oh no, I'm in for one of those games.
What if you had a tournament and I was asking you if I drew a card on the first turn? Anyways, I'm gonna tap my avatar to play a rustic village and pay 1 to get a foot soldier. Can you make a foot soldier?
And a footy.
And over to you.
All right, first turn, I will draw a site. And, it's not the one we needed. But it's not wrong. Okay, then we will play a Kelp Cavern. We'll look at the bottom 3 spells and put 1 on the top of the spell book. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Don't mind that. Don't mind that. Okay, I'm gonna put this one on top and the other 2 on the bottom there. And then I'll pass it back over to you.
All right. Draw a site. Beautiful. Tap my avatar of Earth, and I'm going to play a Briar Patch here. Whenever an enemy unit enters or leaves this site, it takes 1 damage.
Love it.
Then pass you.
Okay.
I love that site. Art, everything about that is great.
I drew 3 sites. Then I drew 3 more sites. That's 6. And then I drew a 7th site. So I have gone through 7 of 20 sites so far.
20?
Right? Don't I have 20 sites?
I think you said 27? Or?
7 of 20 sites.
Yeah.
So 7 of 20.
35%.
So that means that I have 13 sites left. And within those sites, there are 4 of the card that I need.
4 out of 13.
4 out of 13. Mm-hmm. So that's a 30%-ish.
Loosely, it's like 28, 29.
Let's see if it hits.
Anger Worm, that Curio is giving me the agitation of unexpected need. This is definitely, I love the sketch cards. This was at the top of my list. And then currently at the top of my list of desired cards is the half-finished Unseelie court that's also sketched. And that's partially because we did an interview with Liz Danforth, the artist, at SorceryCon. And hearing her talk about it and why, anyways, amazing. Those videos coming later in the year.
All right, we'll take our 30%. And we nailed it.
Sometimes you just got to roll hard 6.
And now what I'm going to do, based on the conversations that we had, there's 2 ways this could go. And I think it behooves me now to actually play this a little differently. So let's go here. Let's play a Joyous Guard, back row. So now we have 2 water, an air, and a fire. And then we'll pay 2 for a purple knight. And we're going to just drop that lands token right on the Templar.
I love Purple Knight, man.
Yeah.
Some of the best.
And then it is back to you, Zach.
Can you feel the vibe shift from last week's game to this one?
Actually, no, I like it. It's so fun. This is the whole reason that we play these games. It is so fun to actually build something that you fully appreciate, understand, and that has your identity on it. and then to get it on the table and see if it can actually do the thing that you thought it might be able to do when you were building it in your head.
Yeah, there's kind of a anticipation and a tension there.
Yeah, it's so exciting.
You just need to find out if it worked or not.
It's so exciting. And like this exact moment where you play off to the side because you draw your back row sight and then you drop the lance from Purple Knight to Templar so that it's not as vulnerable on the two. It's like those are all things that I literally was doing when I was doing the test runs.
And it's working.
It's so cool.
I mean, it's at least functioning. We'll see if it works.
Now it's a 3 damage first strike Templar, which is a much different situation.
I'm with you.
And I want you to come up here. And you kind of want to come up here, but it's harder to build your earth sites that way. It's beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff.
Let's draw a site. Beautiful. Okay. Let's tap my avatar bird. I'm gonna play.
Don't. It just can't be Bauer. It just
Every time.
Zach, it literally just cannot be Bauer.
Every time.
It cannot be Bauer. I will. You can put it on the bottom and draw a new one. You can put it aside and choose any site that you want to replace it
Of your whole
from your stack, from your collection.
Well, before I play this
It's like
site,
second Bauer.
it's the Curio Bower.
Hello, Matthias.
Remind me of this. When
You get one action a turn.
yeah, I understand.
It's actually not true.
When you shoot a projectile, the projectile rules have changed. Mm-hmm. You can skip one friendly thing on your
You
current
skip everything friendly. I had that wrong the last time.
on your current location.
On your current location.
But you would hit something friendly on the next location.
That's right.
If it was shooting a projectile.
That's right.
So if I had 5 guys here next to my avatar verse, shot a projectile.
Like burger and like it's an expensive burger, man. It's not seriously. It's not.
A lot of beef jokes
You
here.
should not like Five Guys can't be the right burger.
Oh, I totally. This is a little tier 2 segment. Agreed. So
just because they throw fries in the bag does not make it worth $17,000.
the problem is that they got way too expensive.
Yeah,
But they're not min-maxing any variable.
I agree.
So what are we doing here?
They're min-maxing bag fries.
It's not the best fries. It's not the best burger. It's not the most fries. It's not
That's
the most
right.
burger. It's not the best price. Like,
What are they doing?
I'm not.
Yeah, not a special.
I'm not paying a
sauce.
premium for mid-range. You know.
I think the idea is it's free to add all the toppings, but by doing so, you make it almost inedible.
Yeah, and I guess they are min-maxing if you're a toppings fanatic.
Which I go all of them because I'm paying anyway. I may as well get them all.
The toppings I like come standard anywhere else I'm ordering it.
Yeah, I know.
Lettuce, tomato, etc.
I open it up and I slide them off, and it's my salad. I go side salad.
You remember those? Was it Men of Genius commercials? That's one of those. To the guy who goes to Five Guys, makes his own salad,
and gets a free side salad
feeling good about that burger now.
with pineapple.
Okay, so now that I understand the projectile rules as written currently, I'm playing a site as not Bauer. Yeah.
Great.
I'm playing a Gothic tower, and I'm deciding where I'm playing it.
Yeah, because this is a threat, right? A three string thing.
Yeah.
Just swinging into whatever you.
It's also, this is not an earth site, so I really don't want it to be there.
That's true. Accurate.
I also, if fights end up happening in this region of the realm, I also don't really want it to be here. Mm-hmm. So I'm putting it back here, and the decision I have is how long of a game am I playing here?
That's a good question.
Because if I go this direction, you already are this way, so then it's going to start possibly the fighting's going to coalesce over here. Mm-hmm. In which case, actually, if this is over here, that's better for me. And I know you're going to be short on site, so I think I want to place it here, hoping you don't decide to develop over here. And I can play all my unearthed sites in this corner of the realm. So I'll play there, go up to 4, and then I will. I'm going to play a Pudge Butcher.
Okay.
I'm trying to decide if it's better here or here.
That is the question.
If it's up here, you're just closer to it, so then you play a thing, you charge, and you can basically get rid of them. So I think I'll just. That's why I was asking the projectile question.
Set him back there.
I think
I might be going up to 6 sites.
breaking his number 1 rule immediately.
I know.
Or do you?
It can't be right.
And then you choose who it hits of your opponents. They don't choose, right? Or
Yeah, you choose.
Okay.
Yeah. You choose.
You choose. The Pudge Butcher art and the Nelly Long Arms art give me the same vibe.
Yeah.
Like I like the card because I like the art, and then I like the card because of what it does.
I can't look at Pudge Butcher too long. It just makes me a little uncomfortable. Which I think is
That's the intent. Yeah.
the intent, yeah.
Ooh. That creates some interesting things. Wow, this game is crazy.
Game is good.
What is even...
What is life? Now, if you were on the same location as me and I shot a projectile, could I hit you with it? Would I forcibly hit you with it?
Would I forcibly hit you with
If you were here and I cast a projectile, I have to hit you.
Yes. Choose something of the enemy on that side for sure.
You guys know this, right? You're aware of that?
An 18 patch...
Briar Patch
Oh, yeah. Because it
comes in and goes
rolls
out.
in. Yeah. Because it both enters and leaves the side at the same time. Yeah, so this is a really cool Pudge moment.
We have to be pudging all over town.
But he also locks down that lane for his own stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is only enemies on the Briar Patch.
Well, but you can't put anything
its
of yours
way.
on that side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stops Pudge from doing his thing.
But also, anything of Steven's in that lane
Right.
is terrifyingly... It's bad. Even right now, he's going to have a decision. Does he want to leave his Templar there or not? Or he can play a side and put a unit in front and buy a turn.
Mm-hmm.
A couple times.
But this also kind of feels like what's supposed to happen. You do Pudge through there. We fight, right? So you burn the Lance token too, yeah? It's not strike.
You may fight it, yeah.
Yeah. So you play a site.
Also, can I... Just looking up at the screen, which I didn't do a lot of last week, apparently. Mirror Realm is something else.
Sure is.
What up, Andre?
I don't think I can leave that square.
Your current square?
Yeah, I think you're gonna be able to pudge it. I don't really see a way around that one. Because I mean, heaven forbid you actually move here.
You move.
I move.
It's
don't play
horrible.
a site. Like that's impossible. That's an impossibility.
I mean,
I've just got to block it. I've got to block it up and lose a card.
yeah. Like, you can play a site here and then move this up or play something else here and buy yourself a turn.
Mm-hmm.
Assuming...
But it's still a churn.
Yeah.
You're still churning through.
Unless you draw Sormorian, then they win.
Yeah, Morian I don't have in the deck, right? That's
Well, you can't do that.
Yeah.
Morian out.
Morian out.
Okay, and I know what's on the top of the deck. But do we have the strength to draw it?
Oh yeah, you do because of kelp.
Because kelp. And I know, and it's fine, but would it change the math? Because you're still a 5. If I could give myself the Lance token, it might. I mean, Purple Knight's about almost enough to kill you if it had one more Lance token on the fight, but it would die to the Briar Patch first, which is a bummer.
Devastatingly good.
Yeah, that setup's good. Okay.
Power play.
So, and then you pudge. I don't think there's any way around it. There's nothing I can...
Yeah, it's pretty gross.
I don't think I can do anything there. I just take a turn off and explore a different lane. Yeah, I think that's right. Okay. Well, then that's what we shall do. We are going to draw a spell. And then we're going to move. I think that's the thing that Andrew was talking about. We are going to move rather than I'm going to move. I'm going to do a little.
That we say that a lot.
Hey, how are you? I do. Or just people in card games saying that is like. But I think it's mainly in the context of like, we're going to swing for 6 at you. It's like, we're not swinging.
Who's we?
Who's we? Go ahead. I'm just going to move over.
We did it. That's an achievement right there. Mm-hmm. All right, now we're playing the long.
I think it's just too bad.
Game.
It's just too bad if I'm there. Because you're not drawing cards either. So it's less of a rush as again, like a sorcerer here would be really problematic if they start drawing 2 by the time I even get there.
It's a good point.
So we're both kind of in the same world. And I need bodies to dunk on you once you actually come this direction.
Let's draw. What am I doing this turn? Now that I got you to do the thing I wanted you to do.
Happy Wednesday, Andre.
So you can't.
73 beautiful people in the chat.
Woo.
Watching a little afternoon sorcery. Jonathan,
Yes,
when are we going to 4K that top camera?
it's 4K. Look, watch. It's before. It's after.
Oh my gosh. Beautiful.
And also, did you notice the color change on that screen?
Yeah. A little higher, a little. Jonathan was listening. He listens to the people that complain about the shot.
Yeah. Us?
Huh?
Us? I need to draw a card. I'm having a
That's what you did at the start of your
crisis
turn.
of. I haven't done anything yet.
I was talking to John Kaufman.
You're at
about
2
to come in
resources.
Yeah.
on the stream, but we were talking about just like there was someone I think in our Discord that was talking about how his group has like a gentleman's agreement to no rush, basically.
Yeah.
And we were just talking about like what happens if you just say, hey, nobody can put a site on any other space except for their back row until that's filled up.
Yeah.
That's
So
like
cool.
these like little tweaks.
Just
you
5 sites on the
completely-
back, and then you start. It's money map, baby.
Yeah, you completely change the game. Like all your little menus, like clawing at the sites, getting ready, and then you open up the gates.
I love hearing those stories. You're just like, this is just how we play, and it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, that's the entire idea of all of this.
Yeah.
You don't go to your weekly grind session at the LGS where everyone's playing the same deck week after week trying to find. It's like, no,
Just have fun.
we're having fun instead.
Just trying new things.
I think Zach's trying to read that curio you pulled over there. Here, you talk it out with the crowd. I'm gonna go hit the back here.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good idea, Tweet.
I have questions. Okay. So Rift Valley says you may pull apart a partial row or column to make a void in which to play this.
Oh, good. I'm glad Justin's here. Oh, that's not right.
So here's what I want to do.
Oh.
Oh, wait, it doesn't matter. So the question is, can I move this up to put Rift Valley here?
I believe the answer is yes.
Asking for a
It is
friend.
a partial row or column. Justin, help us. I know that this is a trickier card than it's a more powerful card than I thought because it doesn't. It's like Cornerstone, where it doesn't have to be connected to the rest of your stuff.
Yeah.
But I didn't realize that. I thought it had to be part of that.
Justin saying no.
It
Okay,
says
yeah,
no.
because I'm not pulling apart. I'm pulling it from the edge.
Oh,
like you have to
that's
like.
right. Well, you could move it over.
Yes, I could. I've got some disgusting
Angry Worm and Justin saying no.
things here. So
Yep, you can split as 2 sides.
yeah, I think I will, which is hilarious. And then I'm gonna have 4 to work with, so I'll do that and go fish. Okay. We'll wait for Steven. So I'm gonna play a Rift Valley here and split.
Yeah.
And put it in the middle.
Right.
But what I have coming up in a minute is I have Atlas Wonders.
Oh, nice.
So that'll be the real. Don't tell Steven.
So anyway,
All right, I figured out what I'm doing.
okay.
I'm gonna use Avatar of Earth to play a Rift Valley
Okay.
here.
What happens? What does that say?
That's what I was asking when you left. So it says you may pull apart a partial row or column to make a void in which to play this.
Partial row, which is like this one.
Yeah, so you have to disconnect 2 locations to create a void.
Okay, got it.
So one thing I was asking was if I could do this.
Mm-hmm.
Can't do that because I'm not pulling 2 apart.
Right on.
But I can put a little Rift Valley between
Okay, cool.
whatever nonsense you've got going on there. So don't worry about that. It's just
Oh, I'm
hanging
glad
out.
to have something to swing at. Trust me.
Well,
Stoked.
I can dig it. Then I declare
I found one.
I'm gonna play Common Sense
Okay.
for 2. Now let's go find an ordinary.
Do 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 do.
I think there's only one answer here. I'm just gonna get a grapple shot.
Oh yeah.
And then I will pass to you.
Okie dokie. All right. Start of the turn. Let's draw a spell. Okie dokie. Let's play a sight. We'll play a poison well here. You got 2 sites nearby, so that'll be 2 damage. I guess we need to get our
First blood.
health here.
Nice.
Swing for 3.
Pick 3. Let's hope she's worth it.
And then let's go. 3 for a lugbog cat there.
Big kitty. That's the 4.
Yeah.
All right. See, the Bower wouldn't even do anything to you here. And Templar has the Lance token presently.
Yes.
Okay.
Currently.
Over.
Although I may drop it. I should probably drop on the cat. If I drop it on the cat, she can kill Pudge. I mean,
That's true.
first strike, so you can't like grapple her.
I don't think it can pick it up if you drop it.
Once per turn, according to the rules, as I read
think-
them.
Okay, even if you have summoning sickness, you can.
Yes, they don't tap to do it. It's not
Okay.
It's once per turn a unit can drop things, and once per turn you can pick things up. But it's not during their like activation or
It's
anything
not
like
tap
that.
to draw, so
Yeah.
cool.
So yes, let's transfer it.
Oh, nice. I could hear Justin typing. He said yes, I can.
Should have said nothing. Just kidding.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it reminded me because I was thinking that this in my hand could technically kill Pudge, so I could. But then you Rift Valleyed and everything changed.
Everything changed.
Fire Nation attacked.
All right, my turn.
Yeah, Aaron. Yes, we have some wild things coming up. You'll be notified about them in the near future.
Okay, let's do. Lone Tower here.
We're building a beautiful Earth tableau.
Actually, so no, let's do Gothic Tower. Don't worry about that.
Oh my gosh, you got all your towers
Uh-huh.
and Pudge?
So I'm at 5 resources, and I think this is the play.
Did you play 2 Gothic Towers?
No, he had the So wait, this one doesn't count because of that bad boy.
Yeah.
So only 4?
Well, I have 5. That's right. I didn't need the bonus resource. So
Oh, because
I
you're
played
Rift Valley here. Yeah. Gotcha.
That's got to be the answer.
This is a real thinking man, this game.
You get 3 resources? Yeah, this is just too obvious. I'm going to play Atlas Wanderers here.
Okay.
We're going to swap these. Then I'll Pudge your avatar.
All right, hold on a second. You got 3. You got 3 threshold, and then let me read this.
You're reading this bad boy.
Site. Okay, you played it at Rift Valley,
Yep.
And then you chose an adjacent site here.
Yep.
And then you change places. Okay. Carrying everything with it. So this and this. Okay. Gotcha.
Yep. So they basically just fully transport. Then I'll pudge your avatar.
Okay.
So
And then I'll take 7s.
Yeah, so 2 from the Briar Patch, and then 5 from Pudge, and then over to you.
Okay. Sounds good. And this. Okay.
You can probably start to figure out why I was asking about that lands token.
And I'll draw a card.
About right now.
1, 2, 3. Okay, good. Understood. Okay, now the question begins. Continue building, yes. Take potentially 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 5 more. We probably have to kill them. And if you pull a Valor, that would be epic. That would be epic in a heartbeat.
Oh, if I do or you do?
If you do. Like if I swing into Atlas Wanderers and you give them +3.
It would be devastatingly
Yeah,
good.
it'd be really good.
It'd be a shame, really. Such a shame. No one plays Valor, though.
Okay, this is interesting. Why is this game so good? Okay. Mapped. You take 3. We're set up to do 7 on the next turn. And then we're sitting at 3 mana right now. We can go to 4. We take at least 7, probably 8, probably 9. Grand scheme of things, if you have charge, if you have a big weapon, it could be more. Is the race going to matter here? We go to 4. What do we do with it? Okay.
Floating Skull saying, I think if you attack the Wanderers directly, Valor doesn't help, right? They need another mana.
Oh, that's
to
right.
defend.
They've got to defend. I forget that they're not automatically defending.
You'd be courteous and attack Rift Valley. Right?
That's right. And that is an immobile card. Okay. We need a way to get out of dodge.
Nate saying, oh no, Steven is singing the praise of sorcery. That means something really bad is about to happen to him. Yeah, it's hard to move and play sites, turns out.
Yeah, I mean, I think this was I've come to terms with the fact that this was a particularly great setup on your side of the board here.
Zach had
That's a pretty tough one to recover from.
This is quite...
Rift Valley, Atlas Wanderers, Pudge, it's like,
Briar Patch.
Yeah. It turns out
This could be bad.
my non-mulligan was actually because my hand was good.
Yeah.
I looked at my hand a couple times, and I was like, is there anything I actually want to mulligan here?
You're at 15 for 3, 12, 11, 10, 9. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Death Store. It's pretty fascinating, man. Actually. Okay, we're gonna take Cat into Wanderers.
You got it.
And then we're gonna swing.
Isn't it crazy? You pass my lance token.
It's everything.
If you don't do that, there's no way you win this game. It's just crazy over. I take 3 more.
Yeah, 3 from Purple Knight.
It's wild. Hi, John. We are indeed somehow still doing this. Same last
We
name.
got him with the algorithm.
No relation.
And does
Just kidding. He's my brother.
immobile mean that they can't do anything, right? They can't attack or defend or anything like that.
That's right.
Are you asking the
They
stream?
can only use the ability.
We've got Floating Skull and Justin here, so they'll tell you. But I'm pretty sure he cannot attack by himself.
Okay.
You cannot.
No, he just has his text box.
Okay. All right. Let's play. I need to look at my threshold. So water, water, fire, fire, air. Okay. Let's play Poison Well here. It's going to do 1, 2, 3 damage to ya.
You don't take any from that? It's just enemies?
Enemy avatars, yeah.
I mean, it feels like I'm ahead, but you're cooking. You're cooking some stuff.
We're cooking.
David's saying no attack, defend, intercept, pick up, etc.
And then we'll play a Siege Giant here for 4.
Okay.
And then I'll pass it over.
Just some stuff over there.
Yeah.
I'm not exactly comfortable with it. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I will draw here.
You see John Bunn Films in the chat?
I did, yeah.
Wow.
You were locked into
Blast
that
from the
turn.
past.
I was talking about John and with John, and you were just in. Thanks, John. This is a lot of Johns. There's a couple Johns over there. John's in the chat.
Siege Giant.
You're at how many?
13. And when we calculate stronger, could you add them together if they're 2? Is that how that works?
Exactly what?
Stronger or weaker?
It's the average.
It's the average, right? So you put both of them together.
Yeah, so 3, 2, it's a 2.5.
Gotcha.
Math. And again, for those watching that may have just joined us and do not know, when you're shooting a projectile, like if I shoot a projectile here, I have to hit your avatar.
I hit the avatar.
And you're at 13.
I'm at 13. That's right.
Okay. Well. I'll use the Pudge Butcher to hit you for 5.
Take it.
8. I will. 1, 2, 3. Is that worth it? That's worth it. I will swing at your Templar for 3. I'll take 2.
5. I'm at 5.
I'm at 7. And then I will.
Pass.
No, I'm gonna grapple shot my Pudge Butcher into your Templar
Okay.
for 5 more,
For the DDs.
and then I'll pass to you.
Okay. Let's draw here.
I just feel like I'm gonna lose for some reason. I don't like it. I'm uncomfortable. Sea Giant's a nice way around the Briar Patch. Just launch them in.
Yeah. Okay.
That's kind of interesting. Your avatar, if it goes through the Briar Patch, would just die.
That is a big problem for me currently, yes. The escape plan is no longer, because this.
Oh, toss and get out of town.
Oh, that was cool.
Painful.
That's a good idea.
If I, as long as I just don't get you literally to death. Even if I got you to 1, you could go to death's door to escape.
That is, yes, you're accurately
Savage.
describing my
Savage.
my reality there.
Oh man.
And you choose. Is there any way to get Templar somewhere else?
Man, that was a good. That's Siege Giant improvement. So good.
It is often the number of times I've had a great play lined up like that, and your opponent does something that mitigates it, but you then never in a tournament or something you would never even bring it up. But you were like on this close to like a crazy insane play, devastating.
trying to think if there's anything that would matter here. Let's see, we got 1, 2, 3, 4. Couldn't play it. I mean, you're at Death's Door. We know that. You're dead. But we're both at Death's Door, and then you pudge. Pudge being the primary issue here. Anything I could do about that projectile? There's nowhere I can move that would change it. I can't play a sight and also move. Okay. I can't put anything in the way of that projectile because you choose. Huh. Anything else that's clever that can happen?
Do you have Warhorse? If you have Warhorse,
Nope.
you have Warhorse or Siege Giant of the Briar Patch, and then move forward. And then
Don't have Warhorse.
Okay.
Nope. That would be one of the things you would be able to do.
Is Intercept still a thing? Did they kill it yet?
Technically, it's a thing. Yeah, I think so.
I heard they were going to kill it.
No, people just say that.
No, they're not going to kill it.
Justin as in the chat.
I still am, as you can imagine, have no idea how it works. Bye, John.
Do this.
We've upgraded to John.
If we could kill Pudge, that would be possible. I don't think we can. He's 5?
Yeah, he's a beefy boy.
5 is a big number. If I could play 2 cards this turn, I could do it.
But you're on 4 resources?
So if I could give him a Lance token, and then we're close. If Templar could attack, but it can't, because it's at Death's Door. Any other way to get 1 damage?
I like the effort here.
Well, okay. So there's kind of a way. You move, clog up that lane, get you to Death's Door, and then okay. That's okay, there is a possibility here. Okay, so now we gotta think through the next thing.
So you have to get me to Death's Door, right?
Okay, let's just do that.
Okay, so I'm at Death's Door.
Yes.
All right, so you got me to Death's Door, check 1. Now you have to get out of either remove Pudge or get out of range of Pudge.
Yes. One of these things
Is not like the other.
is not like the other. If I could swing... Actually, you know what's happening right now is that foot soldier is the problem.
Why is the foot soldier the problem?
Well, I'll show you. I'm really close to this mattering. If I had 1 more water threshold, I think I could pull it off.
Because you only have 2.
I've got 2. No, because then you couldn't throw it. Okay, so I need something I can throw, which is something that's a 4 or less average. So this is the only thing that I can throw. So what that looks like,
I see.
is I move here, and then I throw something here so that Pudge can't do anything with it. Pudge can't now shoot to the Templar. Avatar River, the attacks here, we both die. So you don't want to do that. But Foot Soldier, I can't currently... This is assuming you don't do anything with your cards. But Foot Soldier...
You gotta assume I can't.
Foot Soldier then swings in. So if I had a Lance token here, I would be okay. But there's no way for that to happen.
Unless the thing you were throwing into this had a Lance token. So if you had like a little knight.
Look at how close.
That's why you're the water knight. Or the blue knight.
This is how close it is. So I've got... well, would Lance wouldn't add... It doesn't add to their strength. It's a mechanic. So I could technically play Serga Harris here with a Lance token.
Okay.
But it's an 8, which means I can't throw it. But if I could throw this, drop the Lance...
I thought it was a 4. I thought it was the average of the 2 stats.
Yeah, but this is 8, and the average of 8
Oh, I
is
see.
4.
So I got you.
Right, so it's not weaker.
Yeah, it's not weaker. But you're close. If you could toss
so
it,
close.
you could put the lance token, send it over, toss him in.
And then if you swing a foot soldier, you die, and I don't die.
Yeah. And then you have to hope that I don't have something to kill you with, and then also then you have to kill me back.
That's right. And I've got to kill you back. And I have the tools to do that. So what I could do instead is rather than playing this, I play Nelly here, which I can throw. And that's for 3. And then, I've just got to move and then throw this here. And then just probably move Siege Giant over.
To basically stop the pudge from pudging.
Yeah, so then Nelly stops the pudge. But then you attack Avatar into Nelly. And then Pudge Butcher can shoot anyway.
Well, I would die.
Oh, right. That's the reason you can't
But
do
it's
that.
the foot soldier that is now
The
getting
foot
you.
soldier is the problem.
Which I think is appropriate that the foot soldier wins today.
You pudge Nelly, right?
Foot
That's
soldier.
what happens, yeah. I think that's right.
Yeah, it was close. The Siege Giant was a really tricky little
What?
maneuver there.
I mean, what else is weird here, too? Look at this. Look, there's another thing you can do. You've got... If I've got one more... I've got Green Knight, which would force the foot soldier to attack, but I can't throw it, and I don't have the threshold. So then that's another problem.
Yeah, if you played another water, you could play it.
That's right.
You don't have another water
No.
in your hand.
No. Well, I do, but I can't throw it
Oh, because of his strength.
because it's not stronger.
I mean, there's a nice little limit. Unlike Bauer, they put a limitation on that.
That's
thing.
right. That's what I'm saying. And then you've also got weird plays like I could technically play a site here,
Yeah.
and Siege Giant comes here, and then I could Shatter Strike Pudge.
And real quick, on the Green Knight,
Yeah.
whenever a minion can attack the Green Knight, it must. Does that mean if I
First thing on the turn.
just have to attack it?
Instantly.
So, like, a Pudge can attack.
No.
So he gets around that rule.
Pudge gets around that, yeah.
What a
But it at least clogs Pudge up and doesn't die to Pudge.
yeah, what a beautiful thing.
So that's crazy.
So you're close.
Yeah, there's a lot of almost rolls because I got the Shatter Strike too, and a 4 damage unit here. So if I can get a Lance token on this and move up and Shatter Strike Pudge,
Then he goes off.
it's
the
also
table.
something. It's not.
It's to me, we're in the middle of our test, right? Can Steven, with an Arthurian Legends only deck, overcome Zach with his full collection? And last week I thought I was 100% gonna lose. Bauer was the only out, and we put a little handicap on me. I took Bauer out. It's not even in the deck.
Bauer's out.
But we're both at death's door here,
Yeah.
and I feel like my hand was like good.
Hot sauce bar.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
We're not there yet, but like
I think.
it's close.
I think on a,
your deck got a lot better.
we need to run this a few times because that felt hot, and I think it's very. I mean, these are all good cards.
Why can't Harris come out and then you drop the Lance token before Siege Giant eats him?
Sea Giant can't eat him because he's at 8 strength when you combine both of these values, and it has to be a weaker minion. So Sea Giant's 4.
Even without the Lance token.
Gaheris is an average 4 power. So Sea Giant can't throw Gaheris. And Lance doesn't add to their power. It would be cool if it did, but it's a mechanical thing that they're holding. It's not adding +1 to
Oh,
their power.
because you could play it, put the lance on the giant to make
Yeah.
him a 5, and then toss the 4.
Yeah, but Lance doesn't give you +1 power. It says when you strike, you get +1 power, and you strike first.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It would be sick if it did.
I think that was a really thoughtful way to make the lance token not be that,
Yeah.
because it has so many interactions that you, over time, probably would have to like mess with.
Yeah.
So, just so everyone's aware, if you're this deep into the stream, then you probably care to some degree. Next week, we will not be streaming Sorcery. Our friends from Chaotic Great are coming in.
That's
We're
right.
gonna be
That's
streaming.
right. That's right. That's
I'll
right.
be playing with the Gudnak guys, Tim and Ian. But we will continue the series, hopefully until the point where Steven beats me.
Yes. Without Bauer.
When we were talking about the concept of this, I, in my mind, was like, it's not even going to be remotely close.
Yeah.
And both games, I feel like I easily could have lost. So
I think
that's
this
a
is
good
real.
sign.
I think this is a real deck.
It's very good.
I think I could take this to a constructed event.
That would be funny.
Like it really works.
Well, and particularly there's little things like the fact that you don't have the like windmills and the two threshold sites at all as an option is crazy. Like that's like a fundamentally wild restriction that you're playing with. That I think another thing this is doing for me is just really making me appreciate the full card pool. Like once you've switched from this into a like full.
Yeah, I started having to build Arthurian Legends stuff, and I was like, there's a lot of cards that I just wasn't fully appreciating. Yeah. Great Famine's a great example of that. This card is incredible.
Yeah, even
there's an answer to Pudge.
I feel like a lot of the knights that you're now keen on, it would be easy to kind of overlook them, like Mordred. It's from the moment I saw Mordred, like this card. I'm so sad it's half water, but it's so good. But yeah, like some of those knights, like Serpelius, right? That little interaction that you learned, and I feel one of the things I love about Sorcery is that I feel like I'm finding those even I loosely knew, like when I played it, I knew it, but generically looking at Briar Patch, like I really like this. It's good ability. But then when you start realizing, it's like, oh, if you pull them to you with like a Pudge Butcher, it's hitting them up both. That's crazy, actually.
Yeah.
So now I have this little interaction, this little heuristic. It's like, that's a good spot for that location, specifically. Which is just cool to see. Anyways, it's nice to just slowly unpack these layers.
That game was 5 turns, I think.
So
I was on playing my 5th site and I skipped one, so 6 turns.
Yeah.
It was a 6-turn game. Amazing.
I played Avatar of Earth at the first Sorcery Con, and most of my games were like 5 to 6 turns. Partially because it's a deck that just sort of forces the issue.
Yeah.
But even long games, actually, when you zoom out, I think are like 10 to 12 turns.
Oh, yeah.
Which is not that many.
Yeah, and it really tempers the sorcerer card draw problem a little bit when you're like, actually, a lot of games are ending at 6 or 7 even.
Yeah.
And it's like they might get to 5 and get 2 extra cards.
Yeah.
Or 4 and get 3 extra cards.
I think if a game really needs to go past turn 5 or 6 for the sorcerer. That was kind of my at first the general sentiment of a lot of people I was talking to was this sorcerer is the default thing to do. But I think that's why you see so many other avatars performing well is that it's really turns 7 and 8 and 9 and 10 where a sorcerer is insane. But a lot of games don't get there.
Yeah.
So
there's avatars that definitely don't.
Then you don't have any ability all game. But anywho, good time. All right, we'll be back. I think not next week is Sorcery, but the week after.
Forget Archimago.
So 2 weeks from today is when we'll be playing Sorcery again, I believe, unless something dramatic changes or comes up.
We got the Hunted coming. I don't know that Goodnight's coming in on that release weekend, so that kind of stomps that one out.
And if you happen to be in the Tulsa area next Tuesday, we're going to be hanging out playing Goodnight with the Goodnight guys at American Solera.
5 o'clock?
Around 5 o'clock.
Around 5 o'clock on what day?
Tuesday.
5 o'clock Tuesday.
6 days hence.
Anybody can join American Solera to
Tulsa,
meet
Oklahoma.
Tim and Ian and play some Goodnight.
Yeah, who somehow designed a phenomenal game on their first at bat.
You said it's Tuesday?
Tuesday.
I'm thinking about my own life now.
Yeah, it's Tuesday.
Tuesday. All right, we'll see you there, Tim. And others.